I know that some of us might have come across this for s in a range 10. What does this actually mean? See a colon and then to print out x. Okay, let's begin with this print s. What is print s? Print is a built-in function in Python programming language to display an output to us. Why this x is a variable that is here, but before that, before we talk about s, we need to talk about this, what this range does. And before we talk about this, we need to know why we put this colon here. This colon signifies the start of a block of code. And when it comes to control structures, like if statement, the else statement, the for loop, the while loop, it must it must start with a colon. Going to signify that there's going to be a block of code. There's going to be a code or script under it. That is what this semicolon signifies. And this range 10, I've talked about what ranges are. Range is just to generate an imaginary sequence of numbers. Like I said, it takes 3 arguments, which the first one is the start, second one is the end, and the third one is the step. Let me give an example of that. Let's see range. You take the first one is the start, second one is the end, and the third one is the step. Initially, this start is set to 0, and this end is set to 1. This is the initial, and this end you need to put it yourself. That is why we put 10 here, because we're able to put 10 here because these other guys who have been given to us were expected to put this guy only, or we can decide to change these two other guys. In our case, we put end to be equals to 10. Remember that range generates a sequence of data. So let's do that. Let's set our this into, let me remove this start, end, and step. So let's print out the output. So let me comment this out. You can see this is the output we got. Remember I said range generates an imaginary sequence of data. If you want to see what we got as an output, you need to turn it to a list. When we turn that to a list, it's going to generate a list of items for us. So this here, but in case of for loop, we don't need to change it to a list again. The for loop automatically does that. So we can assume that inside here, this is what we'll be having. Let me copy this. Copy this our output. We can assume that inside there, this is what we'll be having. And remember that what for loop does. For loop iterates through for loop iterates through each element that is inside there. So and it's going to be stored in this x. Remember, this x is a variable. It can be of any value of your choice. I can say y, it can be y, it can be Peter, it can be John, it can be anything. As far as it's not a number, it's not a Python keyword. I've talked about what variables are. So just have it in mind that this is just a variable. So when a for loop enters this list to get each and every element inside it, just like entering your bag and then bringing out things inside it. When you bring out elements from bag 1, you put it in bag 2. Assume that this x variable is in the bag 2, where you get element from bag 1, and you're going to be set to this bag 2, and it's going to be printed out. So initially it's going to go inside this list. The key thing to know about this is that x is a variable that holds the information that is being gotten from by the for loop. So any output, when the for enters into this list, what you should know about this x is that once this for loop goes inside this list to get each and every value that is inside there, you need to be stored in a particular variable. As you can see on top, a string variable, which is our it's going to be stored in this x, and then it's going to be printed out. This is what is actually happening. it will enter inside this list. Okay, to go to the first one, 0. So x is going to be equals to 0. And then when you print out, it's going to print it out, which is going to be 0. So it will go into the second one, s is become equals to 1. And when you print out x is going to give us 1. So go to the second one, which is going to be 2. And when you print out x down here, it's going to be 2. So it continue to do the same thing to reach the final value inside that of a list. So this is basically what this for x. Remember, this is range 10 is. This is just basically what this does, just to iterate through all the elements that is inside here. That's what it's just to do, to iterate through all of them and then store it in this x and then print it out on the run process. So if we run this script, I say over the output, everything that I just explained. If the first thing is going to get the 0, it's going to store it s equal to 0, it's going to print out 0 down here. The same process, you're going to do it till it's complete, no matter how many you put inside there. Let's say I put 5 inside there. You can see, remember, the last does not get printed out, the end does not get printed out. If you want the desired end to be, if you want your desired end to be printed out, you need to add +1 to it. Let's want to print from 200, for example. I know that is huge, you can see here. So this is a huge amount of data. So I think this clears the air on what for x in range means. Here's a recap of what we talked about in this video, so that this print is a built-in function in Python programming language that displays an output for us on the screen. This range just generates a sequence of data to be iterated. In this case, it's going to generate a number from 0 to 199. Remember, it doesn't print out the end position. If you want it to be printed out, you want to add +1 to it. And on the process of this for loop running, you need a variable to store each and every you need the variable to store each value that got printed out. So that is what this x does. It's just a variable. When the for enters the list or this range, each and the process is going to be stored on this x and then it's going to be printed out on this run. I hope this clears the what for s in range 10 or range anything does.